everybody, welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday. I don't know why my camera was moving just then. So today I am doing your beauty questions answered. I thought about doing this as a fun Friday video, but I decided that this would be a little bit better for Tutorial Tuesday since there are some tutorial areas I would like to cover. So let's get started. Anna asked, do you apply your foundation and eyeshadow with brushes or your fingers? I apply it with brushes. I feel like I get a little bit better coverage and control of the product. When you apply foundation with your fingers are going to absorb a certain amount of the foundation. And with a brush, I feel like I can stipple it and then buff it, and it just really gives you a really nice flawless look. As for eyeshadows, it depends on what kind of eyeshadow. Today I'm wearing a glittery silvery green look, and the silver part was applied with my fingers because it's a glitter, and with that you will get a whole boatload of fall down if you apply it with a brush. So I just dip my ring finger in and then lightly tap it on. She also wanted to know if there's any powder foundations that I would recommend. I don't use powder foundation. I use very few powder products on my face because of the fact that I live somewhere where it's uber humid, and I feel like it makes me look more cakey than anything else. But I have heard amazing things about the Bare Minerals powder foundation, so maybe check those out. She also wanted to know if there's any good shampoo brands and hair treatments I would recommend. I love the Tresemme Keratin shampoo and conditioner set. My hair is kind of weird. I have thick hair, but it's fine. It's not coarse. So it just means I have a lot of hair, but it's not coarse. And then I also have really like frizzy curly hair that gets poofy if I allow it to air dry rather than blow dry. So I love anything with keratin in it because it helps control my hair in this awful humidity. I also love argan oil. You can get some, you can get like Josie Maran argan oil, but you're talking like maybe between $20 and $50. Or at the drugstore, they actually have argan oils that have citrus in it, and it smells amazing. And I always apply that to the ends after I blow dry my hair, because it helps keep your ends healthy, and I also have dry hair, so it helps keep it from splitting. I would also recommend doing a weekly hair mask. I like the one from Sebella. That's a deep conditioning hair mask, and it's just really good to treat your hair right if you want it to last and look beautiful and luscious for a long time. Jessica wants to know, how do you keep your brushes clean without doing a full wash? So I always do a deep wash on my brushes every single week, but I also clean them after every use. So right now I have this dirty foundation brush because I just used it, and after I'm done I grab a face wipe from either Neutrogena or Kirkland, just whatever face wipe you have, and just wash it on there until it comes out clean and lay it flat to dry. It'll dry in about 5 minutes because you're not applying a lot of liquid to it. I also love the MAC brush cleanser. I have that on hand all the time. So you can just apply a little bit of that to a paper towel or a cotton pad and do the same thing. Janie_Smitty asked, pen or liquid liner for beginners? I would really recommend, if you're going to do a pen or liquid, to start out with pen. It gives you a little bit more control, and because it's more of marker format and not liquid, not as much product is coming out at once. And once you feel like you've mastered that, then you can move on to a liquid liner. Candy Cane 0012, I have awful brows, help. So as you guys know, because I do tutorials on here, you see me without makeup all the time, and I have terrible brows, and a lot of that has to do with genetics and the fact that I have a thyroid disorder, and I often have problems with the hair in my brows and on my head and my arms falling off. So I would recommend getting a really good brow kit. My favorite is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Express for brows and eyes, and it looks just like this. It's got the wax here, 2 different brow colors, and then a highlight / eyeshadow colors here. and it is my absolute favorite. I used to be one of those people that was like, oh, I don't use the wax, like it was something cool or something. But I have become a huge wax fan as my eyebrows have gotten more sparse over the last like 6 months. And with the wax, when you apply it, it helps keep the powder on those places that you don't have natural hair to hold the powder. So it's really important that you use the wax, and just pick a day and kind of play with your brows, go through it, see what you like, what you don't like, and find out if you like a strong brow or a soft brow, a high arch, a low arch. You know, just really play with it and see what you like. Another thing you want to remember is if you take your brush and place it here, that is where your brow should begin. If you place it here, that is where your arch should be. And if you place it here, that is where your brow should end. So you want to kind of play with that. You can even, when you place it, draw the little line with the powder so that you can keep track of where it's supposed to be. Also, with the Anastasia Brow Kit, it comes with a couple of different stencils so that you can place them and fill it in and see if you like those types of brows too. And my sister, Laura, asked, how do I do a smoky eye without looking like a raccoon? So I did a smoky eye tutorial for beginners a while ago, and it is a brown smoky eye, very soft, neutral smoky eye. If you can master that, you can then master a black and white smoky eye. So I will link that tutorial down below so you guys can go back and look at it. But the most important part of a smoky eye is the blending process. You want to make sure you have a really, really good blending brush. I really like the MAC 217. But I also like to use the Real Techniques base shadow brush as a blending brush because it's nice and fluffy and long. And it's also tapered so it can get into your crease really well without kind of smudging the eyeshadow everywhere. And the important part of blending is not just doing a windshield wiper motion back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You want to go back and forth, and then do little circles, little circles, little circles, back and forth, back and forth. And that helps blend it and soften those colors. Also, for my sister, who I know, she's extremely pale. She's like 4 shades lighter than I am right now. And she has blue eyes with platinum, natural platinum blonde hair. And so for her, doing a smoky eye is going to be a very strong, bold look for her. So anybody that has really pale skin that burns very easily, I would recommend doing a brown smoky eye so that it doesn't give you that Taylor Momsen raccoon look to it. You also want to remember when you're doing a smoky eye and you are very fair, that by applying black liner underneath your eye and tight lining with it and adding it to your waterline is going to intensify that look and kind of give you more of that raccoon look. So you want to make sure that you smudge it and that it's a little bit softened so it's not so bold and harsh. Laura also asked, how do you keep your eyeliner even in both eyes? So this is something I really struggle with because my eyes aren't even. And even today, it's not even and it's driving me insane. But nobody's face is even. There's probably 2 people on the whole planet that have a perfectly symmetrical face. I wouldn't recommend spending too much time looking in the mirror finding out if yours is symmetrical or not, because you're going to end up finding a lot of flaws that you wish you wouldn't have, because I've done that. So one thing you want to remember when doing your eyeliner is if you start off small, you can always build up. But if you start off really with thick lines, you can't like tone that down without wiping it off or doing some serious smudging to blend it out. So start off with a really thin line and build up from there. If you're trying to go for a winged line look, then I would recommend doing the dots on both sides. Check and see if they're even, and if they are, then go in and fill it in. She also wanted to know if those makeup kits for hazel, blue, green, or brown eyes are better for you if you use them with that particular color. I don't like those palettes. I feel like they really box you in. A lot of makeup artists have created a lot of rules saying people who are fair-skinned can't wear blue eyeshadow, where I totally disagree with that. I think that you can pretty much wear any look as long as you soften it, blend it, and pair it with the right lip. So like today, the focus of my makeup today is my eyes. It's obviously quite bold. It's green and silvery and shimmery all over, So if I had paired that with like a really glossy lip gloss or a shimmery lipstick, it would have been way too much, and it would have been like Mimi off of the Drew Carey show. So don't box yourself in. I want you guys to all feel comfortable playing with colors. That's the whole point of loving makeup, is being able to play with it and find things that you like and things that you don't like. So don't box yourself in with those palettes. It is not a requirement that you only use green colors if you have green eyes. Lori, who's actually my mom, asked, how do I keep myself from looking washed out when I do live videos? So my mom owns a marketing company that has clients all over the world. And she does a lot of video conferencing with them rather than having to actually fly to them, because that's not as practical. And so I know what she's talking about when she says she gets washed out, because I've actually seen one of her videos and I was like, wait a minute, are you the wall or my mom? So one of the things you want to remember is if you're doing any sort of filming, or if you're doing a hangout or anything like that at work that's going to require you to be on a video screen, put something behind you that isn't just white is really, really helpful, as well as defining your face. So you can do your highlighting and your contouring and your foundation, but at the same time, a lot of it comes down to lighting. You don't want any fluorescent lighting at all. That's like the worst lighting for women on the planet, and yet like every restaurant has it. And you also want to sit away from your background. So right now, I'm a little more than an arm's length. I'm like there. So I'm a little more than an arm's length away from my background, which is enough distance. I would like more, but I don't have the space for it. And so that's why I do my camera at an angle to create the illusion of more distance. Whereas right here, I can't touch it. I'm like maybe 2 arms length away. So you want to highlight and contour your face. You want good lighting. There is a ring light that you can buy to put around your camera, or if you're using your webcam, you can use it with that as well, just separately. You want to remember to add some soft lighting behind you if you have the room for it. I'm just talking like twinkle lights, something like that. You don't want anything like a bright light that's going to distract from you. You want the focus of your camera or webcam to be on you. And I think that is all of the questions I have for today. I really like doing these questions because I feel like it makes it to where we can interact with each other better. So I will try to do these like monthly. So if you have any questions, you can always tweet me, Facebook them, or leave them on my Instagram or in the comments below, because I always read every single one of your comments, and I will answer them in my next Your Beauty Questions Answered video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!